What's going on, sports fans? You can listen to Athletic Intel on Google, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. Prime members can listen to ad-free on Amazon Music. What's going on, guys? It's your boy Cal here, back with another episode. It's been a couple weeks now. Fantasy drafts and just dealing with kids. It just feels like I haven't had like a legit day off in a very, very long time. It's been very, very interesting in the sports world. I mean, we had a college football startup and NFL startup. We're now into week 2. The Thursday night game happened last night, but let's recap week 1 real quick. We just start with the Cardinals. I mean, even though they gave us a little bit of hope, Josh Dobbs is just not going to win us a ball game this year, and I mean, partially not mad about it. What we would think is a Caleb Williams campaign, but there's a chance that if we have the number 1 pick and he doesn't like the situation that we're in, which we'll get into the Cardinals in a little bit, but it's not a good situation. It doesn't seem like it, at least. But I'm in a big, I want Marvin Harrison Jr. That's my guy. Ohio State dog. Dude, he's just like his dad, bro. Like, he just balls out. Hella icy. Always plays with Apple Watch and some crazy cleats on. Dude's flashy. Dude does his thing. I mean, during the playoff run, he got hurt, but I mean, as long as he's there, he's a dog. And I mean, Cardinals can have the first 3 picks. And one of the first 3, let's take him. That'd be wild. I mean, especially if Caleb does not want to come here. So be it. I think we just go after Marvin, and then I don't know. Let's try Kyler another year, or go after another quarterback that's not Caleb Williams. Which he's looked good. He's a for sure number 1 pick. So it's tough that his dad came out and had the comments, because I mean, it kind of hurts your draft stock a little bit, because it's just like if it's Detroit, he's gonna say no. If it's the Jets, is it a yes because they need a quarterback and the rest of their team's pretty good? But I don't know. But getting into the rest of everybody in week 1, I mean, we'll get into the Cardinals in a little bit. That team's just dog shit. It's just really, really bad. The rest of the NFL didn't seem to be too far upsetting, I think. I think all the games kind of went how everyone really expected it, except for J.K. Dobbins, which kind of sucked for my fantasy-wise, because I was really, really banking on him to be amazing this year, and hopeful he has a speedy recovery. I mean, he's out for the season, but I mean, it's tough. I mean, even as a fantasy owner, it's just tough. It's just shout out to him. I mean, Justice Hill and Gus Edwards should get some more. It's gonna be interesting to see what they do, because they have 2 pretty solid backs. I mean, I think that it's just however they're gonna be utilized, and I mean, in this Baltimore offense that is looking different and could be something if all the pieces pan out. I don't know. I'm not really bought in on Baltimore. But the Bengals, a horrible week 1. I mean, that goes back to looking at one thing about players sitting out during preseason, I think, is kind of bullshit in a way of just, I feel like to get ready for a season, you need reps. And I get that, a lot of these guys don't want to take hits. And I fully understand that. And I think that, there's a different way to go about preseason. I couldn't imagine, somebody like Jose Ramirez trying to say, hey, coach, I'm skipping spring training this year. Shit ain't gonna fly. And honestly, it's just a reflection of that. Burrow like threw for his career lows in like yards and completion percentage. Like that's just insane. Horrible for Jamar Chase owners, for Joe Burrow owners. Like it's just like, ooh, that was a tough week one. At Bengals fans, I mean, like, it's not anything to overreact about. I mean, like, it's just one game, but I mean, if we're gonna have a very, very shitty game, I guess it's good to happen week one. I guess, I don't know. Who else? The Jets, tough. I ain't gonna lie, man. That Aaron Rodgers going down in like 4 snaps is just like the utmost, like, it's the biggest Jet thing to ever happen. I mean, that team was just wild. I was so hyped over the preseason about him, watching Hard Knocks. Hard Knocks was lit. I ain't gonna lie. I don't know if I didn't care for the Cardinals when I think I just like that I had more insight of my team, and that was about it. But like, Detroit's was all right. The year before that, I don't even think I watched it. But the Jets, I don't know. That team just kind of had me like bought in just because of like Sauce, Garrett, Aaron, bringing in Dalvin. But even Brees, bro, like let's talk about Brees real quick. Because Brees went off in 3 runs. Greatest fantasy pickup ever. 3 runs, over 100 yards. It's just, I couldn't believe that one. With Aaron going down, it was just like, I didn't think anything was gonna happen with Zach Wilson. I think everybody had that feeling, and I mean, it was bad the whole game. Brees gave them 2 opportunities right off the bat to kind of just put some points up, and they only got 3 each time, and it was just kind of disappointing. Garrett Wilson got a touchdown. The Jets ended up winning that game, which was like a really, really good game. A walk-off punt return to end it, like, was... I ain't gonna lie, man. That shit fucking pissed me off, because I had a parlay going of Jets money line, because they were not favored for some reason. Or even if they were, it was not by much. Garrett Wilson receptions over 5.5, and a Garrett Wilson anytime touchdown. And I boosted it because first Monday Night Football boost. Shout out FanDuel. I don't know, man. It looked like a solid parlay. I thought, with Aaron Rodgers being out there at 5.5 receptions, it's easy to your number 1 receiver. And him going down that fast, it was just like, well, there's that. Zach Wilson's out here. There's that. And then they started getting some stuff going. He got a few receptions, got the touchdown. I'm happy. I mean, there's nothing to be mad about, but like, it was just... And a 4th quarter comes... Jets go up by 3, which was just great. I got the win, but I'm still at 5 catches. Gotta send it to overtime. Tyler Bass, off the right upright. Good. Sends it to overtime. First possession. Bills just get into a weird... I don't know how they didn't like just come out and dominate. I don't know. I feel like Josh Allen in overtime is just going to be it's going to be a thing. He'll never be able to like win like in an overtime like situation like that ever. Because for them to get a punt, and I'm sitting there like, yes, I get a chance for a Jets win, and this is a shoo-in if I get the reception off like a quick slant or even a throw behind the line because that's what they like to do, Zach Wilson. To walk it off, man. It was cool to see. Good for the Jets. Glad you go 1-0 after the tough start of losing your star quarterback, but I just need you to go down, man. That was tough. But yeah, man. Football week 1 was great. The second Thursday night football game of the year. And I should say the first Amazon Thursday night game started off to be a shit show. Where they would talk about week 2, then we'll talk about the Cardinals. That game started off so bad. I thought it was going to be another Thursday night shit show. And honestly, I was checked out. I'm watching it on my phone. I was checked out. And finally start getting some fantasy notifications. And this player makes a big play. This player makes a big play. I got like every position filled from like both teams basically going last night. And so then I'm like, all right, let's get back to watching it. And like once they started scoring, man, that game was great. It was a very, very good game. Kirk Cousins with a very good primetime game. Honestly, you look at his stats, you can't believe that they lost. But losing by a touchdown, I mean, I think they covered their spread. Yeah, I think their spread was about 7. I think they won by 6. And JJ had a game. Addison had a game. Everybody had a game except AJ Brown, which he looked very, very mad. DeAndre Swift, huge game. 2 tutties. TJ Hawkinson, 2 tutties. Wait. Sorry. I think Swift got 1, right? I can't remember. Whatever, but Devontae Smith, great game. AJ Brown just didn't have a good game, and I don't really know if it was like. It's very funny to see the video of them being up 2 runs and he's throwing a fit during a timeout or during a period of time when they're just on the sideline, and you're up 2 scores, and I don't know, but it just kind of pushes me the wrong way because I have him on fantasy and I'm like, I don't really want that to have an issue in the season, but like you have 2 touchdowns and like you're not having a game, but the next game could be yours. There's like next week they're gonna double team Devontae the whole time, so like it's just like next man up. Like that's just what we got to do. But DeAndre Swift keeps having games like that. Eagles might fuck around and win this fucking whole thing. Crazy game, insane game. I guess the first week Thursday night football game was crazy too because Detroit pulled it off against Kansas City. Kind of forgot about that. I ain't gonna lie. Good game. I mean, like, it's tough sometimes. It's tough to kind of put this stuff together, but it's cool. The Cardinals, man. First off, we're in like month, like when he get hired. I don't even know when he got hired. I still do not know who our head coach is. And like, the more I see his name, the more I see his face, like you just like hear that, like his history and like where he's coached and blah blah whatever and what he's done, and it's just I've had no clue who this guy is. Tough, very very tough. I ain't gonna lie. Dude is just the worst motivational speaker ever. I I mean, everyone's seen the clips. Everyone has. Rondale Moore, and like going back to the Cardinals game, biggest issue with like every play call that I saw with Rondale Moore and Josh Dobbs throwing a pass to him was behind the line, which was something that you see it a lot, but it's just not working with Rondale. I don't know if it's Rondale or if it's the quarterback or if it's just the play calling and it's just everybody else. It's just when your coach first meets you and he's pew, 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 pew. If you look at his arm movements in that whole sequence of him meeting Rondale and like trying to say that he's like he's the weapon, he's throwing up slants. I don't have an issue with Rondale running slants because that's 5 yards in the correct direction. So, realistically, if pew, pew, pew is slants, why are we still throwing bubble routes, screen routes behind the line to Rondale to lose 2 yards? Or even worse, the quarterback can't get into his hands. It is a very, very tough situation, and that team is most likely going to lose every game this year. College football also here right now, and I mean, like, I think that college has been a little crazy to start the season, and I mean, I think we all know who I'm going to talk about. Coach Prime in Colorado University. Yeah, just dogs, bro. Dogs. Making everything a little personal, which is like fine. I mean, like you even have like this week with they're playing Colorado State, and their coach had a little something to say about Dion wearing sunglasses and a hat during interviews. I'm like, whatever. Like, I'm like, if we have not learned anything, don't poke that bear, man. That man is a dog. And like, why we're gonna poke him in this situation over sunglasses and a hat? You gave that dude fuel for like no reason. I think if I remember, I think that like it's like a 20-some point spread for their game. We're gonna take Colorado because we're gonna ride that out, but it is just why are you gonna do that? That don't make sense. Whatever floats your boat, I guess, you know. Tomorrow, as in Saturday, because it's Friday, I'm going to be on the couch, vibing, watching football from 9 a.m. all the way through. I mean, OU playing Tulsa, pretty good game. Like, not as in, like, good to watch. Oklahoma's going to probably blow Tulsa out. CU playing Colorado State. That's going to be, I think that's college game days there. At least Pat McAfee was there today, so I kind of assumed that that's where they're doing it. Colorado 2-0, man. I mean, like, they're ranked 18th right now, and I mean, like, there's a lot of better teams out there. Let's be real. That Georgia team might three-peat, like, that dogs. Man, who else? Who else do we want to talk about? Because Michigan's up there. I mean, without having Harbaugh going 2-0, that's pretty impressive, but I mean, like, that's just how it is. Florida State is looking really, really well. Texas beating Alabama last week. That was fire. Oh my Lord. Like, made Alabama look silly. USC, like Caleb Williams, Heisman guy this year, number one pick again. Like, bring him up. 3-0 right now. Like, there's dogs. Like, it's just how it's got to be. Ohio State 2-0 up there. Penn State 2-0. Washington 2-0. You got Tennessee, Utah, Oregon underneath Alabama, which kind of tough, but I mean, like, it's always Alabama. Alabama's going to win another game. They'll be ranked number one next week. Like, that's just how it's going to be. But this year's been crazy, man. It's going to get even crazier to see how this goes. Because, I mean, like, now, because, like, just sticking with the Pac-12. The Pac-12 has so many teams in this little span of the top 25. And it's not even going to be a conference next year. So it's like, let's focus on one of those teams this year. Let's hope that one of them gets up there and wins it. So that's just a big send-off for the Pac-12. But I mean, like, man, Shador's already, like, gaining Heisman interest. I mean, they're already 2-0. I mean, if they just keep that up, that's crazy. Oregon being 2-0 and ranked 13th, Utah 12, Washington 8, USC 5, dog, UCLA 24. And I know that, like, oh, you look at the other teams and, like, they're all, like, big powerhouse teams names, and, like, it's just, like, whatever. But, like, this is the Pac-12 we're talking about, man. Not even a conference next year. Let's remember that. They're flooded the top 25. It's huge. And I mean, like, did I say Oregon State? I don't even know if Oregon. I think Oregon State is, and I don't know if I said their name, or Washington State. Sorry. It'll be interesting to see where it gets to about the end of the year. I haven't been one to actually really care for college football, but this year I found a lot more interest in it. A little bit to do with Dion. I'm a big CU bandwagon guy this year. I want to see them do good just because I want to see everyone just get proved wrong about what he's done. He's done great for these kids, and I think that needs more recognition instead of hate. But as long as there's hate, that means it's working. So that's just how that's going. We'll keep tuning into college this year and keeping up with it. Hopefully one of these Pac-12 teams make it to a championship, man, because that would just be a great send-off for the Pac-12. And then this next merger that's going to happen within the next year. We're going to end this off with some baseball. And I mean, like, we've had a lot happen since we've been here. Braves clinch. We'll just start there. We took the East, I mean, very, very easily this year. I don't think there needs anything else to be said about that. Braves won the East. Phillies are 79-67. We'll cover wild card stuff here in a little bit, but Milwaukee with a 4.5 game lead over the Cubs, which is good, but it's not great. One of these teams could easily fall off within the next couple weeks, and we're looking at a very different picture. The West, shocker. Dodgers are running away with it. D-backs have fallen to 13.5. They're tied, kind of, with the Giants. But being 13.5 games back is tough. I mean, especially for a team that looked like they were going to win the division in June. Yeah, I mean, like, it is just a very, very wild situation. The The West, half game back, but I mean the Rangers losing Scherzer and Garcia the past couple weeks is very, very tough. It's not looking good for them. Houston might have an advantage, but maybe somewhere even maybe Seattle comes through and just picks it up and they sweep everybody up right before the playoffs and they become the number one team in the AL West. That'd be wild. The Twins walking away with the Central. I mean, they're 8 games back over the Guardians, and I mean, I think everybody here does not have any faith in the AL Central. I think we can all come to a conclusion on that. Cool. Yeah. Awesome. The East. 1 game divides between the Rays and the Orioles. And it can go either way. And I mean, both of these teams have stayed consistent from where they were. Right now, let's look. Well, past couple days, past week, the Rays have gained a couple games back on the Orioles. Orioles are on a 3-game losing streak. Tampa Bay's on a 2-game win streak. Let's see where we're at. You know, it's going to be pretty solid. I mean, like, playoff picture looked good. Nothing too crazy. I mean, like, it's just that wild card though is, I mean, you got the Orioles or the Rays that will be the first wild card spot, which is tough. But whoever has the first one of those teams, it's tough. You better hope it's not the Rays. But then you have Texas, Seattle, Toronto's a game and a half back from Seattle. I don't know if Toronto will be able to do it. I kind of like Seattle, Texas, Tampa Bay, or Baltimore. I think that's a pretty solid wild card for the AL. We have to see where that goes because I mean that's just gonna be a crazy start to the playoffs. The Phillies will most likely be the first wild card spot in the NL. Followed by, right now, it's the Cubs that are a game and a half back behind them, but they are 2.5 games above San Francisco, Cincinnati, and Arizona. That's tough. Let's be real, that's pretty tough. I ain't gonna lie. I do not know if... I mean, like, if the D-backs can, like, just kind of figure out their pitching situations and score some runs, they'd be pretty damn solid. But I mean, like, I just don't think I'm bought in on them. Haven't really watched too much Giants games. I like the Cubs and the Phillies. I mean, they kind of both have really solid squads. Whatever. Ooh, Miami's a half game back from being tied with all those others. Which, you won't hear this in time, but the Marlins are going to win tonight's game because everybody in the Braves is most likely hungover from drinking last night. Celebrate your guys' win. I ain't tripping about it. I'm just saying Marlins are probably going to win tonight. But man, playoff baseball is upon us. I'm very excited because we get to go to Disney the October 1st, which that's like the actual start of the postseason in my head. October baseball's there. Man, that's going to be wild. We're almost there, man. I'm very excited to go to Disney too. I mean, that's going to be a whole thing in itself. I'm going to have some videos and stuff that hopefully I'll take of you guys. It's Ivy's first time going. She's 2. She'll be 3. I can't stop saying she's 2. She's almost 3. So it's going to be a good experience for her. And I think it's going to be a good family moment for us to take a moment to ourselves and have a vacation because we haven't really had one all year. Especially bringing in Armani has been all hands on deck and always on go. Love it to death, but that's just how it is. So the vacation is going to be a little bit great. I'm going to try to be a little bit more consistent over the next couple of weeks with you guys. I want to say things are going to be a little bit more consistent because there's going to be a little bit of change that I can't talk about personally. But there's going to be a little bit of change that I think that's going to, one, change a couple schedules around, but then it should also kind of open up a little bit more time for me to jump into a couple of sessions like this and get a couple more episodes out a week for you guys. We'll see how that goes. Hopefully my head is working, and there's a couple other things that I have yet to talk about publicly that are good, but would probably bring in a lot more free time for So thank you guys for rocking with me. It's a very quick one again. I mean, 30 minutes, I feel like it's good to kind of sit there and talk to you guys. You guys don't have to sit here and listen to me for an hour. Couple people commented, and I just need I'll put it out there real quick. The only reason that Dante has not been back on the episodes for the past couple times is strictly just because he's doing stuff for Aoni Clothing. Go follow them on the socials. They'll be down in the description. He never does it on here, but like I'm gonna make sure that we're like promoting it here. He's working on some stuff. He's busy. We're all good. We're brothers. It's all love. He's just got some stuff that he's working on, and he's away for a little bit. But as soon as I can get him back in on an episode, he's going to be here. But with that being said, thank you guys for rocking with us. We appreciate you guys. We love you guys. We will see you guys next time. Follow us on our socials. I've been trying to keep up on it a little bit more. I've been trying to tweet more. Ever since it switched to X, it has not been the same. But I'm going to try to be more on there. I'm very, very active on the Instagram, athleticintel.pod, at athleticintel on Instagram, and at athleticintel on YouTube. Go subscribe, like, comment, share with a friend, be a friend. Thank y'all. I'll catch y'all later.